Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 289. Please turn to page 289, the very first problem on the page, number 149. Today is our lesson number 208. 149, let's see what the problem has to say. In 149, they're simply asking us how much is x plus y. How much is x plus y? And the picture that they give us looks something like this. First should be right. Here is our x degrees, here is our y degrees, here is A, B, C, and finally D. Now, very first thing that we have to understand here is the fact that the picture picture that is presented to us in the manner that it is does not necessarily need to be exactly like that. For example, we really don't know what y and x are, so therefore it could very well be here could be your x, and the y could look something like this, or y could look something like this. This could be the y degree. We really don't know exactly what the exact location is until we know something about x and y, which is the whole point, because in order for us to figure out what x plus y is, we'll have to know about x and y. Let's see what they tell us. In the first statement, they tell us that x equals 270 degrees. X equals 270 degrees. What can we gather from that? Is there any way to figure out what y is from knowing the fact that x equals to 70 degrees? The answer is no. All we can tell at this point, all this tells us is that the angle BAC plus the angle BCA must equal 110 degrees. Because it's a triangle there, ABC, and that's all we can tell from there. And there is nothing else we can extract from it. There is no information at all that we can get out of it about y, and therefore it is not enough by itself. AD, BCE. In order for us to tell what is x plus y, we need to know something about y, and we cannot get anything out of it about y. Because the first statement by itself is not enough, the answer cannot be A or D. It would have to be either B, C, or E. Perhaps they will tell us something in the second statement. Let's find out. In the second statement, they tell us that the triangle ABC and the triangle ADC, the inside one, are both isosceles. They are both isosceles. So now, actually by itself, it really doesn't tell you anything at all about x and y. Nothing at all, absolutely nothing at all. All we know at this point is that this side equals that side and this side equals that side. Therefore, this angle would have to equal that angle, and this angle, this entire angle would have to equal that angle. And therefore the partial part will also equal to each other. But other than that, we cannot really get anything out of it about x and y. Second statement by itself is also not enough. The answer cannot be B. If you put the two statements together, perhaps we will get someplace. Together, 1 and 2. The first one tells us that this is 70 degrees. If x is 70 degrees, given the fact that it's an isosceles triangle, given the fact that both of these are isosceles triangles, what this tells us is that if x is 70, then angle BAC plus BCA, which we know is 110, and they both have to be equal, therefore BAC equals BAC and BCA. Angle BCA, and they both are 55 degrees. They both are 55 degrees because 55 plus 55 will be 110, plus the 70 is going to be 110. But other than that, it really doesn't tell us anything at all about y. Nothing at all. Two statements together are also not going to get us anywhere. The answer is E. The answer is E. When the answers turn out to be E in the problem, most of the time, the reason why it's E is because there is not much you can do, and therefore there is not much you can show somebody as to what to do there, because there isn't anything to go by. There isn't anything to go by that will ever enable us to figure out the value of y. And until we know the value of y, how can we find out the sum of x and y? Simple as that. The answer is E. Let's do the next one. Number 150. Number 150. In 150, the second problem on the page, how much money did Jean earn from commission on her sales in the first half of 88? Alright. Okay. $150. What was her commission in the first half? This is the first half we're looking for of 88, of 1988. Let's see what they tell us. They tell us that in 1988 our commission was equal to 5% of sales. Is that going to enable us to answer the question, what was our commission in the first half of the year? The answer is a resounding no, not a yes. It's a no because, first of all, we don't even know what her sales were, and even if we did know the sales, we can figure out 5% of that amount, and that would be her commission, but that would be her commission for the entire year. And they want to know what her commission was for the first half. So even if we know, even if the second statement tells her what the sales were for that year, for the whole year of 1988, it will still not enable us to answer the question, which is what were her commissions for the first half of the year. The first statement is not enough. A, D, B, C, E. Because the first statement by itself turns out to be not enough, the answer we know cannot be A or D. It will have to be either B, C, or E. Let's look at second statement. In the second statement, they tell us that in the second half, well, right away you know this is not going to be very useful information, because I'm not interested in the second half. What good would the second half do unless we know her total sales for the entire year? If you knew the total sales for the entire year, and if they go on to tell us something about the second half, we can subtract one from the other and get the amount for the first half. But we do not know the sales for the entire year. In the second half of 1988, sales average $10,000 per month more than the first half. Well, there you go. They average $10,000 more per month than the first half, but that is the whole bloody point. We do not know what the sales were in the first half. If we knew what the sales were in the first half, we could have used the first statement, which tells us that the commission was 5% for the entire year. If we knew how much the sales were in the first half, we could have figured out her commission in the first half of the year. This simply tells us that in the second half, the average was 10,000 more. There is no way to figure out the sales for the first half. The second statement by itself is also not enough. Answer cannot be B, and putting the two together is also not going to get us anywhere, because we do not know the sales for the entire year. And the way they phrased here in the second is not going to get us anywhere. Answer is E. The problem with answer choice E, as I have told you before, I am not too keen on them. I don't find them interesting. I find them annoying. That was 150. That was 150. In 151, let's not do 151 right now, because 151 is not quite straightforward. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.